And I'm going to quote what he has written. Quote, I was particularly struck by a conversation I had with a Greek professor attached to an international agency in Geneva. He told me his opinion of why West Europeans were supporting the rebellion against Nigeria. It was, he said, common among Westerners to sympathize with the underdog in any dispute, which in this case happens to be the Eastern Igbo. But what was even more important to the West was that Nigeria was a potential rival power in Africa, a force which had to be checked before it becomes a threat to Western European interests on the continent. The Biafran challenge, accordingly, provided a suitable opportunity to trim Nigeria's growing wings. He said that according to certain estimates, Nigeria was sitting on a keg of oil, which, given a suitable condition, would make it so rich in just 10 years, that is by 1978, that Nigeria would not require any aid from Europe. Indeed, Nigeria would be in a position to assist other African countries, especially the poorer ones, and thus undermine an important basis on which European influence was exercised over them. I underline that. He did not therefore think that Europe would stand idly by and watch Nigeria become to Africa what the United Nations had become to Western Europe. The rebel enclave, on the other hand, could be encouraged to become a rich but small and manageable African country, which would still be dependent on the West, just as some small oil-rich Arab countries have been. Finally, he assured me that whatever happened in the future, the West would never allow Nigeria to develop to a position where its wealth and power would threaten West European interests in Africa.
Okay. Yes, I just had to show you this one now so that we then flew all through to the end. Yes. So, lovers of freedom all over the world, I am here with you again. I still remain your own very good brother, Akpan Asokwo. And I am here with greetings from Chiokika Biama, Ekekeri Henile, Odigonye Keria. I don't want to be wasting your time these days. Let us just go straight to why we are here. Maybe within 30 minutes, we should be done with this. This particular video from Dr. Ofoboche, the then Deputy Governor of Cross River State, and you people have severally posted this in different Biafran platforms, and I don't know what the intention of the people that do post this video. And I feel since we are doing a holistic work, I think it's important we show this we just shed light very briefly on this particular video. Dr. Matthias Ofoboche here, I think he is now of blessed memory. I think he died towards that Jonathan's 2015 election that brought in Buhari. So may he rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. Without, beating around the bush, I want to just tell you straightforward that Dr. Ofoboche here was amplifying the lies from Shehu Shagari. Shehu Shagari lied in his one concocted book, one of his concocted gibbrishes of a book, of books, where he's always doing his Fulani lies. He said that he was told by a Western European who was an envoy, I don't know, in Geneva, where they met. So the man was telling him why the Western Europe was supporting the Biafran struggle. Western Europe supporting Biafran struggle. And the problem is not that Western Europe was supporting Biafran struggle. The problem is that even though we know it is a lie already, they kept on, referring to the agitators, people who fought or who are fighting or who do fight for freedom, who fight for a just cause, for a democratic cause, self-preservation, self-determination, and they are bold to call someone who is pursuing this cause a rebel. And Dr. Foboche, as a learned gentleman, he is, or should I say he was, he is comfortable, referring to, there is one thing you people should be observing. When somebody is telling you a story or giving you, telling a tale, just like a free journalist, you should know it. But when somebody is telling you a tale that he is also taking position, that is suggestive of, affirming that storyline, you should also know Dr. Foboche here was in agreement with what this man was saying. He was in agreement with what Shehu Shagari was saying. We did not just take arms against government. No. The government took arms against us. I don't know how many of you that are friendly with history. If you are watching this program now, do good, even though you are those people, those of our haters, do good to comment and back up your argument. Did Ojukwu take arms against the government of Gowon, Yakubu Gowon? Or was it Yakubu Gowon that took up arms against us? Was it the Nigerian government under Yakubu Gowon? So that's why we should be very clear. We should be very clear in using words. We only took a defensive position. What we did was defense. We had to defend our land. Ojukwu, not having been a coward, had to stand strong to defend his people. Because the going got tough. As a tough man, he had to get going. The lies of Western Europe being the one instigating the fight or the dispute, was that true? Or is that true? That's a fat lie. The position that Ofoboche is taking here as concocted by Shehu Shagari, was the Western Europe supporting us? Or was the Western Europe against us? That is the question. The Western Europe was not just against Biafran freedom fighters. The Western Europe was brutally against the Biafran. It was only when the brutality got serious that France had to say, no, come on brothers, This is unfair. France had to step up and say, come on, brother, this is unfair. They are now telling you that the unity, this is when they want to press this idea of diversity of Nigeria and the strength of this diversity. They do come up with this craft, corn. They come with this corn. They try to navigate this through craft. How come this kind of unity? If you listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's barrister when he was, telling them this end bad government protest, that the northern protesters who were carrying a Russian flag, that if that was to happen in the eastern Nigeria, the Biafran side, that today that land would have been a desolate land. He said it there. You should go, and I will not paste it here. Go and check Maso Elokpara with, I think, was it Rise TV or Channels TV? He was telling them, AIT. Was it AIT? He told them, they tried to counter him, when journalists take they carry their tribal sentiment in their head. They are always quick to antagonize every view and target being tribal sentimental. This guy was telling them what was factual, and at the end of the day, he defeated them. Now the lady had to tell them, but this is a different government now. This is a different government now. A different government. So different government will come and make white no longer to be white, or make black no longer to be black. Simply that if this were to be from the southeast population would have been leveled by now. Can you debunk that? Can you debunk it? No, you cannot. So what unity are they trying to project here? That they understood that if Nigeria was given the opportunity to develop at the speed they were developing without opposition, that they would have been to Africa what a European Union is to what you call it, not European Union, what United Nations is to Europe. So you get the logic. In other words, that Nigeria will grow so much that they won't need anything from the Western Europe again. But is that true? Was Nigeria growing? Was Nigeria growing when the coup plotters plot? What was the reason for the first Nigerian coup, which was indigenous, the first and the only indigenous coup? What was the reason? It was a hybrid corruption. Was it the European Union or Western Europe that gave you the mentality of the hybrid corruption? How would Nigeria have grown if Biafra was not? How was Biafra the reason why the corruption, where Nigeria is where it is today? How was the Biafra? Because they projected the idea that they brought in the sponsored rebels. Rebels are group of people who pick up arms against government. So where did the rebel exist within those periods? Within that period? Were there any rebel? No. Nobody, no group, there wasn't this kind of division yet. That they had to, that the Western Europe were the one that sponsored Biafran movement. Whereas it was the Western Europe that was sponsoring Nigeria against it. Can you see that? When you see certain videos, do good to dig into it. Listen to it. If you are stressed, go around, move around, or leave it. When you are eased, you listen to it again, so that you'll be able to articulate very well. This Dr. Foboche, as a learned gentleman he was
was taking the side of the Nigerian government against his people. But I don't know why we had men like that. I didn't know, I just can't tell. What is the problem that they are telling you this kind of story as a learned man? You should be very friendly with history. You accepted this and you are passing it on to generations unborn. Now, there are a lot of people who are watching this thing did not live the time this man was active, Dr. Foboche Matthias. Now he has, passed on this kind of message to people. Now, young people now today who consume this kind of junk now get a real, a fingered, they have a fingered aspect or perspective of what really happened. It's everything, the truth is turned upside down. Were there any rebels? Was Nigeria growing? Was Nigeria on the path of progress when they carried out when the Biafran, Nigerian Biafran dispute started? Was there any? Of course, one of the cardinal reasons for the coup was corruption. Second of it was the divide and rule stuff, which was nepotism. If you watch the speech by Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu, I mixed it up then, Yakubu go on, so not Kaduna. Now Kaduna Nzogu is the one I mean, like right now. Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu, who read out that speech, mentioned three cardinal points, one of which was they were deep-seated the selling of bigotry. There was a hybrid nepotism that was something that was developed by the likes of Buhari until today. The likes of Buhari are still sharing that. Of course, you cannot give what you don't have. Hatred and bitterness, that's the only thing people like that can offer. Two was corruption. Politicians were giving contracts and looking for kickbacks. Those who asserted Nigeria in a wrong position in the International Committee of States, that Nigeria became, a mockery of other countries just after less than 7 years of existence, of independence. Now you can see that what we are trying to tell you is you should be guided. Whenever you are getting any information from the public space, try to be sure of the angle the information is coming. What is the target? Is it in utmost good faith, or is it intended to divide us more, or to cause disinformation, or to bring about wrong indoctrination before we spread it like we just did? A lot of our young people who run into run into this clip now, they will go and sink this, swallow and digest this junk from Dr. Foboche Matthias. So I am not here to take your time per se. I think at this point I have made everything clear. I've made the point, I have delivered the message, and I'm sure you already captured it. Thank you, and remain blessed as you do good to share this program, to stop the lies, to stop the wrong narrative, to stop the disinformation. So thank you as you share and comment, as you share and subscribe if you have not subscribed, if you are new. If you are not new and you have subscribed before, please don't touch that dial. If you are sure you have not subscribed before, please do good to subscribe.
click on the notification button too, so that whenever we have video, there will be either alert or something, so that you know and quickly. Thank you. Bye.